couldn't tell, yes, I'm Brazilian. I moved to London when I was 2 years old. Growing up, Brazil has always been with me through language, family, friends, food, but my experience is very different from someone who spent most of their life there. Today I'm meeting a friend over some traditional pastels to find out what home means when you've left it behind. So come with me.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Número 15.
Explain to me, what is this and what we have? For the audience I don't know, because this is a staple.
It is. So what we have right now is a dough filled with, my one is filled with a sausage called calabresa and cheese, whereas your one is filled with what?
Just minced meat and some cheese as well.
Right.
And that's sort of the regular and the standard, isn't it?
It is.
Some people have palm of heart as well inside.
Yeah.
And then just this, some ketchup, some sauce.
I guess the modern one as well is the chicken with catupiry. It's a nice one. Up and coming. It's nice.
Yeah.
But the standard one is your one.
So let's dig in before start with the question. I'm hungry.
How was good? Okay, the first bite is the dough, and then we get to the good stuff later on. You have to warm up.
Something like this is quite normal in Brazil. This is just, what you call street food and whatnot. What are some of your memories from Brazil?
So whilst me and my family were in São Paulo, we would go to the feiras, which is what we call the street markets, and we will have it almost every Saturday without failure. So that is a big strong memory for me. And then even when we moved to Rio, the feiras, street markets were there as well, and we used to go every Saturday as well. So eating pastel with my family was definitely a big memory for us, and it's something that I cherish to this day.
And how long have you been here in London?
We've been here since 2018, so 8 years now. And we came, I think, around school start, so September, August, around them times.
Yeah, and that's very different to me because I came here when I was 2. So my formative years, my fundamental years of building friends and that have all been within London now. And obviously I made Brazilian friends and people I still speak to today, and obviously keeping in contact with family has always been of high importance. What was the most challenging thing to adjust to when you moved over?
Honestly, it sounds cliche, but the weather is the big part. I think especially, I'm quite pale, so I rely on the sun to get some sort of skin color, especially in Brazil. And here we don't have that. So, but obviously, apart from, tan and whatever, I think the biggest part is just the sun just kind of helps everyone be in a better mood.
Yeah.
And when you are absent of, having a little bit of sunshine for a good part of the year, it is difficult, especially when you're growing up used to the sun being perhaps the only sure thing of your day. And then apart from that as well, I'll be honest, when it comes to friendships and whatnot, I think Britain, because it's a place full of immigration, welcomes immigrants, especially in secondary schools, and the culture of football for Brazilians, it was really easy on that sense. But I guess acclimating to the weather and just the daily life, your walk to school, going back home to a home that necessarily is not something you see as a home, was I think the most difficult part of the adjustment period.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned one of the biggest staples of our country, football. How has that helped you, sort of get embedded in the culture? Because football in itself is huge here in England too. I'm sure that, you know, it was an easy pathway to sort of getting to talk to people,
Bro, it
talking,
was.
a talking point.
Literally, I think the talking point is perhaps the most important thing because before we came to London, me and my family tried to move to America first. And obviously we didn't get the green card, yada yada yada. But then I struggled a lot making friends there because football was so absent.
Yeah.
But bro, I still literally came to London, and you know, we supposed, you know, if I'm to go to Tottenham, and then that's like an instant talking point to the friends, the Arsenal friends that want to make fun of you, the Chelsea ones that want to make fun of you, and then when Arsenal lose, you and the Chelsea man them gang up on the guy that doors. So not only has the culture helped, but it actually kind of gives you like a way in with almost everyone, which is, I mean, for me and my brother, I'm sure as well, was definitely an easy point in terms of integrating into British culture.
And what's some things you find yourself doing here that make you feel Brazilian again? Is it the food, you know?
I think definitely when I have time, for like on a weekend or time, I'll give my mom a call and I'll ask her for like a Brazilian recipe. Yo, mom, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
And then the cooking process is definitely. But I think the thing that makes me feel the most Brazilian is sitting in my bed at 1:30 a.m. watching São Paulo play the meatiest cup game of all time against some unknown team from the second division of Colombia. And I'm screaming in the shower just like how I did back in the days when I was with my dad watching it. So I think those games, you only watch it if you love your club enough, and you only love your club enough if you're Brazilian club. Sorry if Colombian people watching it.
Yeah. What are some like specific things you miss the most from Brazil? And because, you know, you live in two different cities, very major cities. So, you know, in each one's a big metropolis where people sort of like, where, you know, São Paulo might be like London, I think have similarities. People heading to work, you know, people are very to themselves, from what I've seen. And then when Rio, you know, there's a beach culture topic, so like, the main priority there. I feel like people there are slightly, you know, more chill out, a bit more social.
Yeah.
So what are some specific bits of like that culture that you miss the most?
I'd say, I mean, I give it the beach, obviously.
Yeah, you're stuck here with going to Brighton. Or...
Brighton and South End, bro. I think the first time I went to South End, bro, tough reality check.
Not the same.
Not the same at all. But so definitely the beach, number one, I think. But when you're talking about like the people itself, I think real people is kind of how the willingness to kind of be outside, in a sense, you know. Because rightly so, São Paulo has its correlations to London, whereas Rio is, because it's so hot, because it's like a, you know, it's like party town as well in a sense. Everyone is always ready to go. All of your mates, you know, let's go watch a game here, let's go grab a drink here. Yeah. Everyone is so willing to have a good time, and I think I miss kind of having even the going out sports that we have in Brazil, like the bars, where it's like huge triple bars and everyone is outside on a Friday night. So I think kind of the nightlife component and the beaches of Rio are the things I miss the most. And when it comes to São Paulo, obviously the family aspect, my whole family, a big portion of my family is in São Paulo, so it's kind of, you know, going to your grandma's house on a Saturday night. That's something we can't do here. Going to your cousin's house and having a sleepover on a weekend as well is something I can't do here. So São Paulo much more the family aspect, and then Rio is that nightlife, your friends, and the beach itself as well. I think those are the two things, I mean, the two parts of each city I miss the most.
Yeah. And how often do you find yourself like visiting and going back? Because tickets get expensive.
They're really, really expensive, bro. And especially that's why we rely on mom and dad to give us their home, otherwise we won't go.
Shout out the parents.
Shout out the parents. So, I mean, usually they are willing to, you know, help us out and bring us during the holiday season. So like Christmas, if they don't come to London for Christmas, we go there. So I'd say maybe once a year, or if not once every 2 years, we go back. But not too much more than that. Oh, well, went for marriage actually this year. Like, yeah.
How was that?
Oh, lovely. The Brazilian marriages as well.
They do it big.
They do it big. They do it big.
Definitely.
I've never been to a UK wedding though, to be fair. So still waiting to see. Maybe it can match.
Yeah. Maybe it even goes above and beyond, but my doubts are there.
My doubts are there, but we're biased though, yeah. Extremely biased.
Naturally.
Yeah. How about you though? How often do you go?
Same sort of like vibe, because you know you have other family that spread around. I think you have a couple.
We do, yeah.
A bit all over the place. All of my family is back in Brazil. Here is just my parents and I. So going back is sort of fundamental. You know, you mentioned like having the FaceTime calls and whatnot on the weekend. Definitely the same sort of vibe with that. You know, seeing grandma, grandparents, all of them. And then the good thing there is that, you know, in Brazil, like, well, at least where I'm from, we're from a smaller town. So, you know, all the families sort of live nearby. So whenever, you know, it's very easy for them to host like a big meal at someone's house,
Yeah.
and everyone's there. And that is usually, you know, my grandma's house. You know, they have lunch there, and that's when we usually go just to see everyone and get, you know, updates from everyone there. For the youngsters, the elderly, everyone in between.
Literally, bro. I think.
But yeah, we go, I think, we do like 2 years. 2 years. On the big holidays, where it feels a bit more substantial.
And your family support what team? Because you guys are from the inner state. So the teams there, unfortunately, ain't that strong.
Palmeiras.
Oh.
Palmeiras and Corinthians.
What?
Not what you want to be hearing.
Not what I want to be hearing. Yeah.
But, well, even between themselves, they're split. Half of them, you know, are
Two big
Palmeiras.
rivals. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're situated in terms of like London context, I think that's the same as Arsenal, Tottenham.
So you mentioned you came here right at a time where secondary was
Yeah.
starting for you. What year did you come in? For what school year?
So I came in and I was meant to go into the 11, but because I did 1 year like the high school American system, that was like an incompatibility because they don't teach you all three sciences like London does. So obviously I wasn't ready for GCSE, so I then ended up going in year 10. But I was at the time, if I'm not mistaken, 15 already.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you just graduated.
yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
What course did you do?
I did for undergraduate international relations, and then now I'm doing a master's
Yeah.
in political economy.
And your brother mentioned that it's not going to be here. Where are you spending a lot of your time?
I'm gonna go Shanghai for the second
China.
year of the masters. Yeah, China. It's gonna be an experience, man. But that being said, I think I do see my future in London. I think I will definitely get back. I mean, you know, even though Nigel Farage don't like it, I got my rights. So
Yeah. How do you think the quality of life split is going to be between there and here? Or there, I mean Brazil. Like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you were to choose to stay back in Brazil, then what sort of prompted you to make that choice of wanting to stay here?
I guess maybe for the same of a lot of immigrants, but I got tired initially of moving and having to restart, reset your friends, reset everything. And because in Rio we're not, you know, we kind of grew accustomed to not having the grandma there, the cousins there. I think it was easier for me as well to kind of accept that my family won't be next to me all the time. And so I think my personal life experiences just kind of made me like, one, more comfortable being away from my family, and secondly, just kind of be tired of moving there. So like, when we got here and when I made my friends and when I, you know, kind of settled and found my feet here, I just never wanted to leave. And I think London, the quality of life in Brazil is better in terms of like, I think social aspects, and which, you know, matter a lot. But at the end of the day, I think London, you know, I managed to find my people first. And secondly, as well, the opportunities here are really, really good, professionally speaking. So when you kind of put those in the mix,
And it's not like you can never go back either. Like, you know,
exactly.
hopefully, you know, the success is there, and where you can even go back even more times than
Yeah.
previously went. So,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
but I think we touched on everything that was important, and yeah, I think it's time to dig in.
It's time to dig in.
Dig in and finish this off.
It is.